Freddy the Frog's Merry Christmas. It was a cold December evening and a young frog named Fred was curled up in his cozy little pond, trying to stay warm. As he drifted off to sleep, he couldn't help but feel a little sad. Christmas was just a few days away, and Fred had always loved the holiday season. But this year, things were different. Fred's best friend, a little girl named Lily, had moved away over the summer and he had been feeling lonely ever since. Lily was the one who had always made Christmas so special for Fred. She would bring him little gifts, like shiny baubles and colorful ribbons to decorate his pond with. And on Christmas Eve, they would sit by the fire and sing carols together. But this year, Fred would be all alone for the holidays. He sighed and snuggled deeper into the muddy bottom of the pond, trying to push his sadness aside. Just then, Fred heard a faint jingling sound. He sat up and listened, but the sound was gone. He shrugged and lay back down, thinking he must have been imagining things. But then the sound came again, louder this time. It was the sound of bells, ringing through the cold night air. Fred hopped out of the pond and followed the sound, his heart beating with excitement. As he hopped through the forest, the jingling grew louder and louder. And then, just as he emerged from the trees, Fred saw a bright light shining in the distance. It was a beautiful sight, like a beacon guiding him forward. Fred followed the light until he reached a clearing, where he saw a beautiful sleigh being pulled by 8 tiny reindeer. And standing in the sleigh was a jolly old man with a white beard and a red suit. Ho ho ho! The man laughed. Merry Christmas, little frog! Fred couldn't believe his eyes. It was Santa Claus. Santa! Fred exclaimed. What are you doing here? I'm making my rounds, delivering presents to all the good boys and girls, Santa replied. But I couldn't resist stopping by to say hello to such a special little frog. Fred blushed with pride. Thank you, Santa, he said. But I'm not sure I'm worthy of such a special visit. Nonsense, Santa said. Everyone is worthy of a little holiday cheer. And I have a special surprise for you, Fred. Santa reached into his bag and pulled out a small wrapped gift. This is for you, from your dear friend Lily. Fred's eyes filled with tears as he tore open the wrapping paper. Inside was a beautiful ornament, shaped like a frog. It was the most beautiful thing Fred had ever seen. Thank you, Santa, Fred said, his voice shaking with emotion. And thank you, Lily. I miss her so much. She misses you too, Santa said. But she wanted you to have a special reminder of your friendship, to bring you joy on this holiday season. Fred held the ornament close to his heart, feeling a warmth spreading through his entire being. He knew that Lily's gift was more than just an ornament. It was a symbol of their deep friendship and love for each other. Thank you, Santa, Fred said again, feeling more grateful than he ever had before. This has been the most wonderful Christmas surprise of all. Ah, but the surprises don't stop there, Santa said with a wink. I have a few more gifts for you and your friends in the pond. Fred couldn't believe his ears. More gifts? He was already overwhelmed with joy and gratitude. Oh Santa, you don't have to do that, Fred said. Your visit and Lily's gift are already more than enough. Nonsense, Santa said with a twinkle in his eye. It's Christmas, the season of giving. And I always have room in my bag for a few more gifts. Santa reached into his bag and pulled out a small bundle of wrapped presents. These are for you and your friends in the pond. Go ahead, open them. Fred couldn't contain his excitement any longer. He tore into the wrapping paper, revealing a collection of colorful toys and treats. There were shiny balls and bouncy balls, ribbons and bows, and even a few delicious worms for snacking. Thank you, Santa, Fred said, his voice shaking with gratitude. This is the best Christmas surprise of all. I'm glad you like it, Santa said with a wink. And I have one more surprise for you. Lily is waiting for you at her house. She wants you to come visit her for the holidays, and I promised her that I would bring you to visit her in my sleigh, said Santa with a smile. Fred's eyes widened with excitement. He couldn't believe it. He was going to see Lily again. Thank you, Santa, Fred exclaimed, jumping up and down with joy. I can't wait to see her. I knew you'd be happy, Santa said with a smile. "Now, hop on board and we'll be on our way." Fred climbed onto the sleigh, his heart filled with happiness and excitement. As the sleigh flew through the night sky, Fred knew that this would be the best Christmas of all. And when he arrived at Lily's house, he was greeted with open arms and a warm welcome. They spent the rest of the holiday season together, singing carols, decorating the tree, and celebrating the joy and... At the end of the story, Fred and Lily spent the rest of the holiday season together, singing carols, decorating the tree, and celebrating the joy and magic of Christmas. They were so happy to be reunited and they cherished every moment they spent together. They baked cookies and played games, told stories and went on adventures. They laughed and played and enjoyed each other's company, just like they used to do. The following day, Fred and Lily made a special plan. They would go out into the forest and find the perfect tree to decorate. They bundled up in warm coats and scarves and set off into the snowy woods. After searching for a while, they finally found the perfect tree. It was tall and straight, with branches full of pine needles and sparkling with frost. Fred and Lily were overjoyed. They quickly got to work, stringing lights and hanging ornaments. As they worked, Fred couldn't help but feel a deep sense of happiness and contentment. He knew that this was where he belonged, with Lily by his side and the joy of the holiday season all around them. When they were finished, the tree looked absolutely beautiful. It was a symbol of their friendship and love, and it shone brightly in the dark winter night. Fred and Lily stood back and admired their handiwork, feeling grateful and blessed. "Merry Christmas, Fred," Lily said, giving him a hug. "Merry Christmas, Lily," Fred replied, hugging her back. And as they stood there, wrapped in each other's embrace, Fred knew that this was the best Christmas of all. It was a Christmas filled with friendship, love, and joy, and he knew it was a holiday that he would always treasure.